This is the mini lesson on DNA profiling. DNA evidence left at a crime scene will differ from most other types of evidence because it has the potential to individually identify a particular suspect. This is similar to when we looked at fingerprint evidence, and we could use fingerprints to identify an individual and not a group of people. You can also use forensic DNA analysis to identify closely related relatives. You can identify remains from a mass disaster or war, and also people that are listed as missing persons. So, DNA profiling will identify a person based on their genetic code, which is unique to them. No two people share the same DNA except for identical twins. If they are fraternal twins, they will have different DNA. It is inherited from your mother and your father, so half comes from your mom and half from your dad, and this can also be used to determine who you're related to. The Innocence Project uses DNA to exonerate falsely convicted suspects. Exonerate means to be cleared from accusation or blame. It's limited by the funds because taxpayers have to pay for new databases, and public databases cause concern about the invasion of privacy. The history of DNA profiling is very recent. 1986, the first forensic personal identification of a murder suspect happened using DNA profiling, and it was called DNA fingerprinting. This examines polymorphisms. These are regions of repeating DNA within an intron that is highly variable from person to person. Polymorphisms occur in less than 1% of your DNA. From 1995 to today, the general public has become aware of DNA evidence, and DNA expert witnesses explain the DNA analysis in trials. People submit their DNA to companies such as 23andMe, and cold case murders are being solved by using old DNA evidence. Limiting factors for DNA profiling: it costs a lot of money. It can take up to 6 or 8 weeks to get the results. There is a backlog, so a lot of people are waiting on their DNA evidence to be profiled. And if DNA is degraded, it cannot be used to create a DNA profile. Improvements: it's got better technology and laboratory protocols over the last 20 plus years. The government has enforced some legislation in DNA profiling. The FBI has put together the combined DNA index system called CODIS, which is a giant system that forensic investigators can use to search for DNA that they found in their crime scene. And they're developing new rapid testing DNA kits, so to cut back on the amount of time it takes to get your results. All right, make sure you glue these in your notebook.